When people talk about a great ruler, you will usually hear the names of Alexander the Great, Napoleon Bonaparte, or Julius Caesar. But you rarely hear the name of Akbar the Great. He was India's great philosopher king, who was capable of doing almost everything, from making war to appreciating art. A month before he was born, October 15, 1542, his mother Hamida Banu, while she was in a mango garden and her brother was grabbing her some, he saw light shining upon her forehead. Then he stated, "The glory of the divine light so streamed from the shining brows that he had no strength to gaze steadily at it. This is a sign that shows that he would be a great ruler." Then he was born as Jalaluddin Muhammad in Omarkut, India, a descendant of Genghis Khan and Tamerlane, but very much unlike them. His grandfather was Babur, who founded the Mughal Empire of India. Akbar ascended to the throne when he was 13 years old, in 1556, when his dad, Emperor Humayun, died after restoring his empire. When he ascended to the throne, the forces of Hamyu, a Hindu emperor, took over Delhi. But Akbar, with the assistance of his guardian, Bairam Khan, a general in the Mughal army, were able to defeat Hamyu in the Second Battle of Panipat, whose forces were much bigger than the Mughals. After the war, he had a small territory, which was only a small portion of northwestern India. However, he was able to triple the size and wealth of his empire throughout his 50 years' reign. Akbar had a unique way of thinking, unlike most of his ancestors who were bloodshedders. Despite being a Sunni Muslim, he was also influenced by the Sufi teaching of Sulh-i-Kul, which means peace to all. This made him think that instead of having war with all the Hindu Rajput kingdoms around him, he should first offer alliance with them, like matrimonial alliances. One of these alliances was his marriage to the daughter of King Baharmel of Amber in 1562, who later bestowed the title of Maryam-uz-Zamani in 1568 for bringing the heir of the empire, Salim Jahangir. But for Akbar, if any of the Rajput kingdoms did not want to be allied with him, he would go into war with them, because for him, war was an evil necessity, like his war with Maharana Pratap of Mewar and Chittor. The idea of Sulh-i-Kul also influenced him to be tolerant towards all religions in his empire, because he wanted to unify India into an empire. He also wanted to show respect towards all religions, so in the 1580s, he abolished the jizya, tax taken from non-Muslims in the empire, and he stopped forcing people to convert to Islam. Also, he allowed people to go back to their own religion if they wanted to. Also, he made new coins which has the sun on one side and his face on the other side, to show tolerance. This was when his people gave him the title of Akbar, which means the Great. Akbar was given the title not only because he was a great conqueror, but also because the people in his country loved him. He also built temples for Hindus, and he translated their scriptures from Sanskrit to Persian. When he built the city of Fatehpur Sikri, his palace's architect drew on shared heritage of its people. All the carvings on the walls expressed his ideas on politics, kingship, art, and religion. Fatehpur Sikri, which means the city of victory, was built after his conquests over Gujarat. He built within the palace a court called Ibadat Khana, house of worship. This court, being led by Akbar, held discussions between priests from all religions, like Islam, Hinduism, Jainism, Christianity, and Sikhism, because he was curious to know about all religions and what's their views on the world. In 1582, when Akbar became 40 years old, he started his own religion, Dini Ilahi, or the religion of God. For him, religion was the only thing left that divided India. He thought that all religions had something in common, so he decided to put all the good teachings of all the religions in his empire in one religion, to worship one God. Akbar also said that everyone should discover all religions and not worship the religion of their parents blindly. Akbar was a great patron of arts. He formed a group of 9 people and named them the Navratanas, or 9 gems of the empire. These were the greatest poets, artists, and writers in his empire. One of them was Abul Fazl, who wrote the official biography of Akbar, the Akbarnama. Akbar also loved knowledge and was one of the most educated rulers at his time because he was curious to know about everything, even though he was illiterate because it was believed that he was dyslexic. So he had books being read to him by his servants every day. He also built a library that collected more than 24,000 volumes from many languages, like Hindi, Persian, Greek, Arabic, Latin, and Urdu texts. Akbar formed a great administrative system, which was called the Mansabdari. This was a great system because it did not only increase the wealth of the empire throughout his reign, but also in the reigns of all the Mughal emperors succeeding him. And even when the British came to occupy India in the 19th century, they used it as their governing system. Akbar died on October 27, 1605, from dysentery, and was buried in Sikandar, in a tomb he had built for himself. By the time of his death, the empire was expanded to have most of the Indian subcontinent, modern-day Pakistan and Afghanistan too. Akbar was the wealthiest and strongest emperor during his era that no one was able to defeat.